Hi everybody, it's Lita the Dolly Vlogger here with Porcupine. Say hi, Porcupine. Say oop. Say hi, Porcupine. Say hi. I'm so adorable and cuddly. Yes, I am. Yes, I am. Alright, so today Porcupine and I are going to attempt to give you a basic rundown on proper guinea pig diet. Now, a proper guinea pig diet relies on three main things. The first one being pellets, the second one being veggies, and the third and most important, hay. Now, pellets are the least important of the three. There are a lot of people who do pelletless diets, which you can do, but you're going to need to do a lot of research to make sure that you're giving your guinea pig everything that they need without the pellets. Making sure you have, all the vitamins, all the minerals, all the stuff covered. I like pellets because, in my mind, they're sort of like a compact, a little multivitamin for the guinea pig that they can eat every day. And also, yes, they cost a little bit, but you can find ways to cut costs, such as ordering bulk from online. There's a few different places that I know of that you can order from, such as KMS. That's the one I order from. I love KMS. They're fantastic. The Piggies love them too, huh? Say, we love our KMS pellets. Say, we love our KMS pellets. Say, yes, we do. Hey, that's my finger. Does it taste like a vegetable to you? No. Stay over here. So anyway, the KMS is good. There's also a Small Pet Select, I think is what the company's called, and they're coming out with a pellet line, and I know their hay is supposed to be very good. There's a few others too. I've heard of like Sweet Meadow and things like that. I think might have pellets as well. But you can search online. You can find places to bulk order pellets. But KMS is the one that most people use, and they're pretty fair. I mean, they're pretty good price for their stuff. It's about the same as for 25-pound bag of guinea pig foods, including shipping, at least for me, is about the same, if not a little more than a 25-pound bag of dog food. So, and it lasts a lot longer than dog food, I'll tell you that much. Then if you want to or have to order in store, a lot of stores carry Oxbow. Oxbow is an amazing thing. Oxbow. If you have rats or chinchillas or rabbits, you might already know about Oxbow, since they make all foods for all those different kinds of animals as well. And the only thing I don't like about Oxbow is it tends to be a little pricey, at least when you're ordering from like the pet store. It's like $13 a 5-pound bag, so and with multiple guinea pigs, it tends to go through really fast. So that's the only reason why I stopped using Oxbow, but the guinea pigs loved it. I mean, it works fine, and it is good quality. So if you can't get KMS or order food online for whatever reason, I would try and get the Oxbow. In fact, I would recommend getting the Oxbow. It's going to be your best bet. Avoid ones like KT, especially the KT with the stuff in them, because like I said, you don't want food with stuff in it. It's not good. As for feeding, how much? If it's under 6 months, most people say you can just give them a full bowl, unlimited, have access to them, because they are growing. Once they hit 6 to 8 months or so, they usually are hitting their max and they'll stop growing because they're getting over, they're jumping over that puberty hump. So after 6 months, you're supposed to cut it down to 1/8 or 1/4 of a cup. I personally don't measure mine out specifically because, at least for my guinea pigs, they self-regulate how much they eat. They don't overeat their food. And I found I've seen with other people with guinea pigs mention that theirs do as well. So what I would do, don't fill up their bowl if you have an adult guinea pig. Don't fill it up all the way. Chances are either they'll spill it, they'll make a mess of it, they'll waste it, they'll do something with it, or they'll eat it all. And all of those options are bad. So I would fill it, maybe halfway, 3/4 of a way, depending on your bowl size. It wouldn't hurt for you to measure it out, but, do what you think is best. Do what you kind of figure out. Eyeball it. Like, I just eyeball it. I've got a little scoop. I scoop out. I fill it to a certain level on all three of them. And I know that it's going to last them the full day until the next day. And I know, if it's not exactly a fourth of a cup, it's probably maybe a little over, but they don't waste a lot of it, and they don't eat all of it really fast, so that's okay. Then next in the important list of stuff is veggies. Veggies are extremely important for guinea pigs because it'll help give them all the little fun, delicious vitamins that they need. One of the most important ones being vitamin C. Now, if you get a good quality pellet like KMS or Oxbow, those do come with vitamin C, stabilized vitamin C in the pellets. However, it does not hurt to add vitamin C into their diet. Adding more vitamin C will not hurt them. You could even, give them vitamin C drops and vitamin C vegetables and vitamin C, pellets, and they could get it from all three sources. Any extra vitamin C, from what I've read, usually is just like peed out of the system. So they're not going to be hurt if you give them too much vitamin C. But if you don't give them enough, that's when you run into problems. They don't have enough vitamin C, just like people, they can get scurvy. And you do not want to deal with scurvy. Just like pirates would get, it's not a fun thing, it's painful, and it's bad. So avoid it at all costs. Now, vegetables are actually pretty easy. I have a lot of people that be like, I have to get them vegetables and I have to do this. It's ridiculous. And then really it's not. It's only about 1 cup per pig per day. Now, if you have guinea pigs that have never had vegetables before, you might want to try and build up to the 1 cup just to make sure that you don't upset their stomach and end up with, diarrhea or constipation or any of those unpleasant things. 2 main things I think you should have, like I mentioned in my first video, is leafy greens and something like bell peppers. I always use leafy greens and bell peppers as my 2 staples, and then I'll add on. The most common bell pepper you're going to want to use is green bell pepper. Now, you don't technically have to give this to them every single day. I do, just to be safe. But you can give it to them, every other day, something like that. But you do want to give it to them very often because of the high vitamin C. You'll make sure that, they have it enough. The leafy vegetables, as far as I'm aware, you should give them every single day. Every single day. Some sort of leafy vegetable. The most common ones are red leaf or green leaf lettuce. You can also do romaine, though some guinea pigs will have problems with the romaine, and it causes some bad reaction. And you can get calcium buildups and upset tummies and things like that. So I stick to red or green leaf lettuce simply because it's, as far as I've seen, nobody's ever had any issues with it, and they love it. They love it. And plus, green leaf lettuce is really tasty on sandwiches, so I can get some for them and I can steal some. Other vegetables you can add, which you should, is things like tomatoes and pumpkin and cilantro and parsley and carrots and celery leaves and all sorts of other fun stuff. There is a chart, which will be linked down below, that will give you a complete list of piggy-safe vegetables, as well as what vegetables to avoid, and how much you can give them, and how much, for fruits and vegetables, things like that. It also gives you information on other kinds of bell peppers, the other colors, and why you should limit certain colors, things like that. But at the very least, I would say give them red or green leaf lettuce and give them bell peppers, preferably green, at least. That way, they're getting the basics of a sort of thing. After that, the most important thing for guinea pigs is their hay. Now, it doesn't have to be Timothy hay. As mentioned in my first video, it needs to be Timothy hay. That's not true. I lied. It doesn't have to be Timothy hay. If you're allergic to hay or have trouble getting Timothy hay, then you don't have to use it. You can substitute with another long strand grass hay. That's the main thing that's important. It should be a long strand grass hay. You want to avoid things like alfalfa and like oat hays and other legume hays, because of the fact that they're going to be too high in things like protein and and calcium things and fun stuff like that. So what you'll end up with is giving them too much of that, and for guinea pigs, too much of those particular things can be very bad. Calcium leads to calcium buildup, proteins lead to other issues. You don't want to mess with it. If you can't do Timothy hay for one reason or another, then you should look into orchard grass or bluegrass. There's a few other ones. There's like a bunch of other ones actually, but the two main ones I see mentioned are orchard grass and bluegrass. So I'd look into those. I have given my boys orchard grass before, and they freaking loved it. Oh my gosh, they wouldn't put it down. It's ridiculous. I'm probably gonna get it again for them at some point as just a treat. Hey, you can. Before I start off, you can technically give them alfalfa, but if you have an adult guinea pig, you need to give them a very small amount, very, very rarely, simply because of the fact that the alfalfa, like I said, is high in a lot of things that's just going to lead to, health complications. So by limiting the amount that you're giving them, you're going to, cut back on those risks. You also things like botanical hay or botanical grass with flowers and stuff in it. You might see that in the pet stores, things like by Oxbow or Katie. And I would check online first, especially if it's a Katie one. I would avoid most Katie products. But there's one by Oxbow, it's like botanical hay or something with flowers in it. From what I've read, that one is okay, but it should be given sparingly as a treat. So now, as for treats, I know people are going, but I want to give my guinea pig something special. Well, I would recommend a vegetable that is high in sugars and things and things like that, so that you shouldn't be giving it to them every day, but something that they extremely enjoy. That way, they will be extremely happy when you give it to them, but it's more of a treat than an actual salad ingredient. Also, you can do things like specialized hays, like if you always give them Timothy, maybe get them orchard grass or bluegrass or botanical hay as a treat. You can also do things like apple chew sticks and stuff like that as a treat, kind of chew. But do not, under any circumstances, give them anything with dairy. Like those yellow yo-yo drops or whatever from the pet store. Don't give them those. Don't give them those little nut seed crunchy bars either. Those aren't good for them. And pretty much every treat, dried fruit is bad. It's way too high and concentrated in vitamin C or in sugar, as well as who knows what they use to preserve it with. So just avoid all of those treats that you see at the pet store. If it's plain wood block chews, then I'd say go ahead and go with that. But everything else, just avoid it for your sake and theirs. It'll save you money too. The only real but there is one thing you can get at the store. Do not get it from the pet store. Go to your local Mega Mart or a health food store and get it there. Wheatgrass. Just wheatgrass, plain wheatgrass. You can get it in little containers that grow, have little sprouts and everything, and that it'll keep growing for a little while after you cut it. If you can't take your guinea pigs outside to munch on grass, just get them wheatgrass from the supermarket. It's the same thing that the pet stores sell as $6 a container, but you can usually get it for $1.50, $2, something like that. So much better deal, and they love it. These little guys, say, we love wheatgrass. We love wheatgrass. We love wheatgrass. So anyway, that's going to be that. That's kind of your basic rundown. If you have any other questions about diet or food, please feel free to let me know. And I'll try and answer them in a video or in a message and let you know what I know, what I've done, what works for me, etc., etc. Again, not an expert, but this is everything that I've learned and I've read and what I do. So again, I hope you have a good night and a good day and whatever other time it is. And until next time, this is Lita and Porcupine signing off and saying we'll see you next time. Bye. Ow!